Andre Hill lives in West Philadelphia. He wants to make music and he loves art, but he also dreams of escaping the gun violence in his city.
Do you have a fear that something's going to happen to you when you're out?
Sure, yes. Definitely have a fear.
Because I see you looking around a lot. Is that because you're just looking to see where your friends are at, or is it?
No, it's like watching my surroundings.
Philadelphia has the highest per capita gun murder rate of the largest 10 cities in America for most of the last 2 decades. This year alone, more than 670 people have been shot, according to city government data, with more than 10 mass shootings.
Do you think it's fair that you got to live like this?
No, not at all. I just live with the battles God give me.
Andre's sister's father, Malik, was shot and killed just last year. Gun violence leaves a long trail of co-victims, people who lost someone. Many are young. Martin Luther King High School was built in the 1970s for thousands of students in Northwest Philadelphia. Now its enrollment is in the hundreds. Its sprawling library is filled with empty bookshelves.
Do your best.
This summer, the school hosts a camp run by a nonprofit organization called Men Who Care.
My brother died, it's 2 months ago. 2 months ago now? Yeah, 2 months ago. He got shot coming out his house. But it's like, there's nothing that we can really do to escape it. So it's like we basically just had to adapt to it and try to stay out the way.
Catch them before the streets do, as one of the founders, Joe Budd, told us. Budd tragically lost his nephew to a shooting at his job just the day before we met him.
Why aren't we in school putting resources in schools to say, let's address this now so that that young man or that young lady won't grow up to be a shooter?
We should not accept violence in our community, particularly in our community of colors, as normal.
Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel was sworn in January of 2024. He grew up in Philly, knowing the toll of gun violence.
There have been thousands and thousands and thousands of young people, particularly kids of color, have been killed across the nation and particularly here in the city of Philadelphia. And we should never marginalize or make people feel that that's okay.
70 blocks in Philadelphia have experienced at least 10 shootings since 2015, according to the Philly DA's office, which says most of those blocks were redlined by the federal government in the 1930s to hold back communities of color, neighborhoods that decades later remain disinvested.
I always say we're not angry enough as a community or as a country as a whole when it happens in black neighborhoods, when someone is murdered. A little boy got shot 13 years old. We should have been flooding the streets. National news, all the news should have been out there, but it happens so often in our community. It's like, oh, another one.
This year, Philadelphia is on track to have the largest drop in murders among cities over 1 million people, according to research firm Datalytics. The decline makes little difference for someone like LaShawna Williams, who lost her brother Khalif last year.
How does that make you feel? Like when your boys go out to the store?
When I go to the store, I'm on the porch. I got my phone, my location, answer your phone. They don't answer, I walk over to the store.
I'm 18 years old, like, when my friends die, I can't cry about it no more.
If I lose somebody, I'll be feeling it every time. Like, it will never get normalized to me for real.
That's why Andre, Zakai, Demir, and so many other boys and girls in West Philly come to this house-turned-community center. They paint, making masks to represent how they feel on the inside. On the outside, they clean up the neighborhood for $20 an hour. The center's founder, Movita Johnson-Harrell, Miss Mo, as they call her, struck a deal with the Horticultural Society to pay them. Back inside, they talk about their trauma in a healing circle.
I could be going through something where as though I don't feel loved. He could be going through something where he's not eating. But today, we all gonna sit in a circle and talk about it and make ourselves feel more better.
Miss Mo knows their pain. She has lost family members across 3 generations, all to gun violence.
People get to choose their issues. I didn't get a choice. Obviously, this issue was chosen for me.
Movita has dealt with her own battles. She's overcome addiction and life on the streets. She's also pled guilty to theft and perjury in 2020 pertaining to one of her nonprofit organizations. She resigned as a Pennsylvania state representative and served jail time. But for the kids coming into her center, Miss Mo is still a role model.
We all became Ms. Mo family, and Ms. Mo became our family.
And through that relationship and others, it is organizations like Men Who Care who hope to create future role models out of these young boys to catch them before the streets do.
You want to see peace?
Yeah, I definitely want to see peace. That's why I put the star on the top, symbol out one person, like the star of the group. But that one person is always going to try to push peace.
Yasmin joins us now. Yasmin, that's one of the best stories I've ever seen, detailing how impacted so many communities are. You focused on Philly. It's all over the country.
Yeah.
And I think you made such an important point, right? I mean, each individual life is a tragedy, and yet the stats, the numbers show things are getting better, but it doesn't matter if it's your kid, if it's your neighbor.
Exactly. Yeah, the numbers are getting better this year, but as I mentioned, LaShawna Williams, right, her brother was killed last year. There are something, Tom, that I learned I didn't know before, and it's a terminology they use in communities like in Philly and in North and West Philly. It's called anticipatory trauma, and it is what parents in these neighborhoods experience every day. It is waiting for when they get that phone call that their child has died due to gun violence, has been shot. And these kids are dealing with PTSD. These are kids, by the way, in the summertime, not leaving their homes because they are afraid that they'll get shot, that they will die. As I sat there, Tom, with Andre, he looked over his shoulder every time he heard any type of noise, if a loud muffler on a car drove by, because he was always aware of his surroundings. That is Demir's, that is Zakai's, that is their reality. And it's something, and it's on us, by the way, we don't talk enough about. Right? We don't talk enough about the gun violence that is plaguing these black and brown communities in inner cities like Philadelphia. And these kids are continuing to die, and they're not living the lives they're supposed to live. You look at that, for instance, high school, right, that was built in that neighborhood. That library, there's no books on the shelves.
Yeah.
How should these kids learn? How should they occupy themselves? How should they progress beyond the cards that they've been given if the resources are not there? And it's a problem, I think, both at the local and national level that needs to be dealt with. And by the way, Tom, we're going to have another piece tomorrow talking with parents that have lost children to gun violence, and also talking about the efforts that are being made locally and on a national level to help.
You know, that one soundbite you had from that one individual who said, maybe the country just doesn't care as much when it happens in a black community. That's just absolutely gut-wrenching, but probably there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, and that is how they see it. And think about if you are a young black man in that community and you wake up every day and you can't leave your house and you're just making sure that your sisters and brothers are staying safe, and you feel as if nobody's helping you. And that is how so many kids in that community feel right now, Tom.
Good job, my friend. Thank you very much. We'll look for tomorrow's report as well.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.